Today is Friday, June 6th, 2025. And today, it's a scary time to be Jewish. In fact, some might say it's an even scarier time to be proudly and outwardly and visibly Jewish. The second anti-Semitic terror attack in as many weeks has left many of us reeling and sad and angry and scared. On Sunday, a march in support of the hostages still held captive in Gaza in Boulder, Colorado, was attacked. Molotov cocktails have left 15 injured as of the most updated count. And this follows just a week after a shooting outside an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C., which left 2 Israeli embassy employees dead. One response or reaction has been that we Jews need to show up and show out. And despite our fear, legitimate as it may be, to go out and wear our Jewish symbols with defiance and not let them win. I understand this reaction and this advice. And for some of us, this is exactly what we need. And we, here at Temple Israel, should be grateful to our security team who make sure we are all safe to be here in community and pray each Shabbat and every day of the week. And so some might need this exact advice. Show up, show out. And I know that this doesn't necessarily work for everyone. Some of our fears may keep us from this type of public, outward, visual display of our faith. And I think that's perfectly okay. We are allowed to feel scared, and we are allowed to make individual decisions that prioritize our safety. And so for that group, there is another slightly different response, which I think can still be a Jewish act of defiance. Not to defy our own feelings of fear and vulnerability, but rather it is to defy the hatred and anger and violence being foisted upon us. We Jews do not respond to hate with hate. Instead of replicating the hatred, we can show up and live our Jewish values proudly. Jewish pride and resilience, foundational values to who we are at Temple Israel, but pride and resilience are in and of themselves acts of resistance and powerful responses to this kind of violence and hatred. We show up with joy and love and song and community, and we show the world the best that Judaism and the Jewish community has to offer. Next weekend, we will celebrate Pride Shabbat here in this sanctuary, proudly declaring that all are welcome here and that we are strongest as a community when everyone's voices are heard, included, valued, and loved. And then a few weeks after that, at the end of the month, we will gather in public at Campo Beach to begin our Shabbat on the beach season. We'll show up, hundreds of us strong, together in public to sing and pray and bring in Shabbat together. I simply cannot wait. This week, Josh and Theo tomorrow morning will read Parshat Naso, and in the Parsha we'll hear the oldest blessing in our tradition, the priestly benediction. Now, it may be the oldest blessing, but it is constantly being renewed. We're so lucky that there are a number of beautiful musical settings of this blessing and a number of equally moving modern translations and interpretations that continually bring these words to life and to new life each and every time we need to hear them. But the old translation, the translation many of us might be familiar with, of that third and final blessing, what we typically are used to hearing is, may God lift God's face to us. Yisa Adonai panav elecha. May God lift God's face to us. Tonight, I offer perhaps a small addition to that blessing. Tonight, and going forward, may we lift our faces to God. Proudly and defiantly in our expressions of our Jewish faith. And when we do, when we lift our faces to God as God is lifting God's face to us, may we come ever closer to that Jewish ideal of panim el panim, that face-to-face relationship and encounter with the divine. May we lift ourselves up toward the heavens, showing up with Jewish joy and love, hope, pride, and resilience. And when we do so, may we merit that final part of that third line. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lanu shalom. May God lift God's face to us. May we lift our faces to God. And in doing so, may we know God's greatest gift of all, the gift of shalom, the gift of peace. Amen.
Blessed may you feel here all that is so dear, keeping the flame that shines within your soul.
Blessed may you lean in
to all that you're dreaming, knowing there's light on the roads you're yet to know, and may light guide you home.
Blessed may you
Yivarechecha,
all that is so
Adonai,
keeping the flame that shines within your soul. Blessed may you lead
Ya'er Adonai,
to all that you're knowing there's light on the roads you're yet to know. And may
Blessed may you feel here all that is so